The Russian president, Vladimir Putin, has just said something in a viral video that tallies with my thought that America is a great country of great people. But unfortunately, they are tolerating leaders who are low in political culture. He didn't explain. That is all he said. So I don't know what he has in mind. But what I have in mind, and I've been feeling disappointed since 2022, is that the North Atlantic Trade Organization, NATO, including America, allowed Ukraine to counterattack Russia rather than seeking peace with Russia by all means. Yes, by all means, including begging Russia to stop the war, rather than asking Ukraine to counterattack Russia. Agreed, Russia started the aggression, and I'm not giving that as a plus to Vladimir Putin. I have my grounds against him that Russia should want to dictate to another nation who its allies should be. So I'm not giving it to Putin. But at the same time, it makes absolute nonsense for NATO, including America, under the president Joe Biden, to ask or allow Ukraine to counterattack Russia. Given the fact that Russia is a world power, I would have thought at minimum second to America. But now we are not even sure whether Russia has not become more powerful than America. We are not sure. But how can you ask Ukraine to counterattack Russia rather than telling Russia to stop the war or face the wrath of NATO? So if you cannot ask Russia to stop the war or face the wrath of NATO, then you beg Russia to stop the war. Because what is Ukraine in terms of world power? So, and now Joe Biden is out because of his failures, acknowledged by Americans. And now you have Donald Trump, who campaigned to get elected using Jesus Christ to impress Christians, saying that Jesus Christ is God yesterday and today. In America, it's very scandalous and is reflective of what Putin has just said, that America, a great country of great people, tolerating leaders with low political culture. Because America founders the founding fathers of America resolved to make America a secular country where individuals are free to practice their religion, but not to bring religion into American politics, so that America can be free from religious encumbrances, and that America can be a country under God, not religion. And Donald Trump, at his age, does not know that. And his fellow Americans in his party, in his political party, could not control him. Even the opposition political party did not take it against him. Politicizing Christianity in America with a clear constitution with a clear secular constitution. So Vladimir Putin spoke my mind that America tolerating leaders with low level of economic culture and political culture, so very scandalous. And now Trump got re-elected and is telling Americans they are free to discuss religion in their workplaces. I have been scandalized all this while on all of this playing out in America that I know so well from reading books on the founding of America. So Vladimir Putin, I give it to you because you spoke my mind. Leaders with low culture of politics, with low political culture. And this is America. And look at Donald Trump, unfortunately, because I myself am guilty. Why am I guilty? I drum support for Donald Trump, if only because he said he was going to stop the war between Ukraine and Russia within 24 hours. And I thought that if he took the right steps, why should it not be possible? Because it was unthink of for NATO to allow Ukraine to counter-attack Russia rather than finding solution to the problem or taking the war on itself. And I kept saying, why do you throw Ukraine into the mouth of Russia, into the teeth of Russia? And with the development, yes, Ukraine has tried in counter-attacking Russia, destroy certain infrastructure and the rest of it. But compare with the level of Russian power as a world power, it's not comparable. And now you are threatening Russia with trade sanctions and all of that, rather than counter-attacking Russia directly or indirectly through Ukraine. The war started with warning Ukraine not to use certain weapons even when you give such weapons to Ukraine, while no such restriction was placed on Russia. And now Donald Trump came and started blaming Volodymyr Zelensky for starting the war. As if he was not in this world when Russia started the aggression. And look at the level of destruction to which Donald Trump subjected Ukraine, even worse than under Joe Biden that sanctioned the war, the counterattack of Ukraine against Russia. Ukraine became more vulnerable under the presidency of Donald Trump, who promised to end the war within 24 hours. And upon getting power for about 2 weeks, Donald Trump did not say anything about the war between Russia and Ukraine until his attention was called to it that, but you said you were going to end this war within 24 hours. And when he started off, only to be blaming Volodymyr Zelensky for starting the war and saying that America will stop supplying any help, in whether logistic or intelligence and everything, abandoned Ukraine to the teeth of Russia totally. And then you say, okay, look at the choice of Joe Biden. Look at the choice of his successor, Donald Trump. So I now think of America in relation to Nigeria, comparing how we had Muhammadu Buhari, of all people, as Nigeria's president, a most disgraceful thing that can happen. And now, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, even worse than Muhammadu Buhari. So, the whole world should pity America as Nigeria. Look at their leaders, Joe Biden. And because he performed so woefully, and Donald Trump rode on his failure to impress, to deceive the rest of us, and we started supporting his emergence as America's president. Politicizing Christianity. And the Americans did not rise against it because many people no longer know the political culture of America. Please go and read the American Constitution. Even you politicians, American politicians, who ought to have used this to nail Donald Trump. You did not. You see that Christianity has taken back its old position in America to the extent that anybody can be using Jesus Christ to fool you, which is what Donald Trump did to get to power. And he has continued saying that the Americans can discuss religion in their workplaces. So Putin, I credit you, but I also don't like the way you don't think that Russia should not be dictating to Ukraine on who her allies can be as a sovereign nation. No. So, at the end of the day, you are not less barbaric than the American president that you are condemning. You are not less barbaric. You are not less brutal, But certainly, I don't know how you are outsmarting NATO, including America, to the extent that they are almost less concerned about what you use to attack Ukraine, but what Ukraine used to counterattack you. I cannot imagine anything more unthinking. So you are indulged. Even if they fear the Russian power, then the more reason they should not throw Ukraine in the teeth of Russia, but rather prostrate to Russia to stop the war. For God's sake, look at what Ukraine has been reduced into. Yes, to some extent, Russia sustained horrible injuries too, but one is heavier than the other. comparatively speaking. Yes, Russia lost so many soldiers horribly, but what about Ukraine? What about Ukraine? So Americans, Vladimir Putin spoke my mind, and it is a fact that you are tolerating leaders with low level of political culture. It's unfortunate, very sad, unexpected.